How to plug a tire in 5 minutes. Let's go. So, as you'll see here, this is a recent example where I got a bolt in my tire. Now, I will say right off the bat, look, if you have road hazard, road warranty, or something on your tires, take it back to that tire shop, have them plug it, repair it, replace it, right? Have them do whatever they need to for free. But if you're like me, Mr. DIY, you want to save money, here's an example. Now, I recently had a bolt in my tire. Here it is. This is a little bigger than I normally like to plug, right? It's a big old bolt, but I was able to do it. It worked out well. Real quick, repairable area. The place you would want to plug or repair in your tire is the top middle section of that tire, right? You do not want to do the sidewalls or near the sidewall. You want to stay away from the red part. The main reason, you'll see here in the middle, you have a steel belt that runs over that middle main part of your tire. So that's much safer to repair that puncture because there's steel under there, right? But not on your sidewall, so you don't want to repair your sidewall. Here's an example of the tools you would use. This is a set right here, like you have the one on the right put in to kind of clean it, and the one on the left you put a little sticky thing in to plug it. Here's an example of the plugs. They're these really sticky, sticky rubbery sticks. And here's an example of a kit that I saw at Walmart, right? Walmart. I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon. I'll put a link below, but you can find these anywhere. Here's some tools I had. I had some sockets. I had my drill. I bought various plug kits over the years, so I have a couple different, handles from the different kits. Razor blade, right? The little sticky rubber thing, screwdriver. And here's an example of those little rubber sticky things. I had one left. It worked great. So let's go through it. So here in this example, this is a bolt, right? So I couldn't just pull it out. I had to freaking, get my sockets and screw it out. So you see me do that. You can hear the air, right? You can hear the air. Now I start with this first plug, and again, this bolt was pretty big, right? It was bigger than I would like to use. But I started with the one that has a kind of almost like a sandpaper feel to it, right? And it helps clean that hole through the tire, through the steel, right? It helps clean it. So I had that one, and then so I kind of went back and forth with those two. You can hear a little bit of air coming out, and that's fine because the bolt was a little bit bigger than this actual tool is, right? But I can still feel it kind of cleaning that out. And you'll take your little rubber stick here. All right, it's the last one I had on this guy. See, it's really sticky, and that's what you get it in there. It's just so sticky, it's not going to let any more air out. So these have this tool has a little hole in the middle. And this is the trickiest part, to be honest. You just have to kind of squeeze it and get it through that little hole there. I'll get it, started, and I'll use a pair of pliers. It works really good just to pull it on through. And you'll see what I'll do is this example, this bolt's so big, I'm going to pull this through where it's about halfway through. And the reason I'm going to do that is when I put it in there, it's technically using like both halves of this. So it's almost like two plugs in the one hole is what it's going to end up being. If you have a small nail or something really small, you might want to put the this rubber piece just to one side where you're only really getting one piece into the plug. But you'll see this will actually get both pieces in. So you want to push it in there, right? It can be hard, but do not push it all the way in, right? You still want the two ends of the rubber pieces sticking out, right? You want some sticking out because you don't want it to go all the way through and now it's in the inside of your tire, right? So you stick it in there, you'll see, you don't hear any air. I can see two ends. I know both pieces are all the way, halfway through, right? And you want to yank it out as fast as you can, and that'll do a clean slice through it, and it is in there. See, that was probably a little too fast or excessive, but anyway, so you'll see those pieces hanging out. So what this does, right? So these two pieces, I plug that hole. It's super sticky. It's not going to let air out. Some of these kits come with like some cement, right, or super glue type stuff you could add around it and on it if you want to. Most times I don't need it. I didn't have any at this point, but anyway, I cut the excess off with the razor. Just watch your hands. I'll leave a little bit. Like I won't cut it. I'll leave it just slightly above the tread. And right after this video, I went and drove it around the block or two, right, just to kind of get some pressure on it. But that's how it works, right? Now it's just rubber in your rubber tire, and you'll be good. So I did have to put some more air in it. Here it is. using my little kind of jumper box that has the tire pressure. And here's how it looks months later, right? I just took this the other day. It's been 2 or 3 months. It's turned black. It used to be brown, right? The little plug. But I've had zero issues. I've lost zero pressure. It's always the same pressure as all the other tires. I haven't had issue. I plugged this way probably 20 times over the past 20 years. You know, I do at least once a year. I've had no issues. It's worked well for me. Others out there may say things different, but this is the old school way I've always done it. I hope it helps.